Country.
So let me explain about this place later on. Oh,
Yes.
let me get just a
There you go.
Thank you,
This is the map for
Thank
you.
you very
So we go
much.
to the secret
Yeah.
garden place first.
그래가지고 이제 지금은 사람이 없어서 아저씨가 이렇게 찍고 들어가는 거죠. 그래서 내년에 저기도 이런 거다 보면 최악적으로 이게 하나
Wow.
Let us see. 5 minutes late, so let's go.
Yeah.
In Korea, the food number is number 3. You see? Everywhere number 3. The door gate number 3. Why number 3? Nowadays, we think of the
So we're almost the starting point of the back garden.
Good.
여기서 다 할 건데. They already started, so
No worries.
maybe they are at the bottom of the pond, so you can follow them.
Yeah,
You
sure.
can catch them up, and then you can. After you follow the tours and then you
Yeah.
come out this way. And then
Okay.
I'll wait for you over here and then
Okay.
I will show you the palace after that. So first of all, look at the palace, the garden first. And this is the highlight of this palace. So
Lots of aces.
yeah,
Lovely.
yeah.
We saw lots of aces in Japan.
You saw, you went to Japan too?
Oh yeah, we went to Japan, China,
Not this time.
Pakistan.
Vietnam, Cambodia, no.
Many different countries.
Yeah.
I see.
54 altogether.
54 countries. I see.
At least.
At least, and maybe more, maybe 60 now.
60.
Probably.
Of course, you went to some South America country, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Brazil, Argentina,
We've
Chile.
been to
Yeah. Peru, Ecuador,
Argentina, Peru,
Easter
the
Island,
Amazon.
Amazon. I see.
Antarctica.
Yeah, Antarctica.
I see. Very cold there.
Not as cold as we thought.
Ice, right?
No, we thought it was going to be colder
Oh,
in
I see.
Antarctica, but we psyched ourselves up for it being very cold.
Coldest place was
I see.
in the Gobi Desert. In,
Gobi Desert?
yeah, that was very cold.
Oh,
At
I
night,
thought it's very hot. Oh no, at
But it's
night.
high up.
we went right up to a lake, which
I
is
see.
people died up there.
Oh,
So the heights and the lower oxygen.
Lack of oxygen.
I see, I see. Maybe high, maybe around 3,000 meters or 4,000 meters like that.
Oh,
Quite
yeah,
high, yes, it was 4,000, I think.
at least, because it was 3,000 feet.
And you could see K2, the second highest mountain, in the distance.
I see, I see.
Then Tibet we went to.
Yeah,
Tibet.
Tibet. Yeah.
Tibet. Tibet is very hard to go there, right? They limit the number of tourists every
Well,
year.
we went a few years ago to Tibet,
I
but
see.
we really liked it.
Things,
It wasn't so obviously
Ah.
under China control
Ah.
as it is now. It was, but not as much.
Oh yeah.
the train line wasn't open
No, there's
to
no
Tibet.
train.
No, there is a train line, so it's
Oh, I see.
slightly different.
I see.
Everywhere we go, after a few years, it's all changed.
We went to the Tala Palace in Tibet.
I see. This is the English guided
Tourist,
yeah.
of course, and then you join them, and then the guide will take you around,
Brilliant.
and then eventually you come out that way.
Yeah.
I will wait
Yeah.
for you over there. And
Yeah,
Thank you very
that's
much.
lovely.
enjoy
Thank you.
gardens, and I will.
Thank you very
I will
much.
take care of you in the palace then.
Okay, thank you.
This building was the residence area for the King Hallyu family. In addition, it is the oldest building in this area. So there is a record saying that the building was renovated in 1692. So we don't know for sure, we don't know the exact date of its construction, but we can guess that the building was built before 1692, according to that record. And once there was a spacious yard in front of the building, so the yard over there now. And snake dance were conducted in that yard on special occasions, such as the birth of a prince. And this kind of exam was held in the presence of the king. So the king sat inside this pavilion and looked at the scholars who were taking the exam at the yard over there. Okay, then please. Okay, so I'll stay here for like 7 minutes. So if you want to continue the tour with me, let's meet at the yard after 7 minutes. And the toilet is on your right side at the end, which is located only in this area. See you later.
Right, so you've got 7 minutes. Looks more crazy than you.
비가 되게 위험해.
It's not more than any other palace by the kings of Joseon dynasty.
Right.
All right, so let's move to the next area. Stand here for a moment. I will show you don't eat first, and then let's bring it area. Okay, so I guess some may like this gate after you know the meaning of it. So there's the name of the gate here. And can anyone read it? I also can't read it too. I only know this character, not the others. Okay, no one. Alright, then I will tell you the answer. So the gate, this one is called 불로문, the gate of never getting old. So as you can infer from the name, it seems like it was made to pray for the king's longevity. And this gate was carved from a single block of stone, making it seamless. So on both sides of the gate, you can see 4 traces of a hinge. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 traces of a hinge, which means that a door might have been attached. So it's a believe it or not story, but I know I wear sunglasses now, but I look much younger than my age, really. Yes, really. Because I pass this gate every day and this is my job. But it's not too fair how like longevity turn youth just by myself, isn't it? You also want to get the longevity, right? Okay, so let's pass through this gate with visit for longevity turn youth, and please be careful not to bump your head here. Alright, let's move.
Yeah. Or another one made just for me, Gemma.
But if you want to have more longevity to reuse, you can pass the gate several times. Because some Koreans pass the gate like more than 20 times. Really. Okay, so now we are at the area number 11, which is called Eryonji area. So let's look at the pond on your right first. So this pond is called Eryonji, and the pavilion next to the pond is Eryonjang. It was built in 1692 during the rule of the 19th king of the Joseon dynasty. In Korean, Eryeon literally means loving lotus flowers. The lotus blooms with a clean and beautiful flowers no matter how dirty the water may be. So the lotus was a symbol of gentleman's virtue. And the king who made the pavilion loved the meaning of the lotus and named it the Pavilion of the Beloved Lotus Flowers. So some may wonder why the name of this area is related with lotus, but there's nothing on the pond. So it's not the season. The lotus blooms in August, so that's why the pond is empty now. So if you visit the secret garden in summer, you can see many lotus blooming on the pond. Alright, now would you please turn back and look at those two buildings? So now the two buildings in front of you were served as a study for Crown Prince Hyo-myung. Crown Prince Hyo-myung was the grandson of the 22nd King Changdeokgung, who made the royal library that you saw in the area number 10. King Changdeokgung is one of the most admired and beloved kings in Korea. He made the country stable and prosperous, but also consolidated the legal power. Crown Prince Hyo-myung, the owner of this study, wanted to be like his grandfather, King Changdeokgung. He wanted to reform the country and create a strong power base to support his policies. So now, can you find the red door above the building? A red door?
Yeah.
Above the buildings? Okay. So beyond the door, there's a lawyer library, the two-story building in the area number 10. The lawyer library at the time symbolized the government reform. So this can be the reason why Crown Prince Hyo-myung built his study behind the lawyer library. And many records say that Crown Prince Hyo-myung was really clever, but sadly, this prince, Crown Prince Hyo-myung, couldn't inherit the throne and died at the age of 20. No one knows why he died, but some guess that he was poisoned by his political opponents. Okay, then I'll be waiting outside, so feel free to take pictures and see you in a minute. And when you pass this gate, please be careful, watch your head. Yes, it's quite low here. Does anyone see the cat in the secret garden today or in the palace? Yes? Oh, there's black one. So there was a black one in the area number 10. And anyone other? No one? No one? Okay, okay, good. So we have some time for that. So I'll tell you a short story about a cat. Do you like cats anyway? Yes. Okay. I'm also a cat person. So there was a king who was a cat person during the Joseon dynasty. So before I begin this story, let me ask you one question. So which king made the pavilion over there? The pavilion of the beloved with the flower. Who made it? Number 1, the 22nd king. Number 2, the 19th king. Number 1, 22nd king. Please raise your hand. Okay, I guess more than 10. Okay, so number 2, 19th king. Please raise your hand. It's almost similar. Then what about the others? There's no number 3. Okay, so the answer is, well, number 2, the 19th king. So number 1, the 22nd king made the royal library, the conservative are number 10, and the 19th king made the pavilion over there. And this king, the 19th king, was the cat person. He was the yellow cat called Kim. And Kim ate his food, sitting next to the little classic king. However, when the king passed away, Kim started eating his food and cried all day long. And eventually, few days later, after the king's death, Kim died and was buried next to the king. So in the secret garden, there are many cats living there. So each area is their home. And since there are so many cats, I can't remember all of their names, but I only know 2 of them. So the cat who lives in the area number 11 and the cat who lives in the area number 12. So the cat who lives in the area number 11, she is also yellow, just like Jung-sung. So can you guess her name? Jung-sung. Well, it was her name is Yuna. So, interestingly, many cats living in the secret garden are mostly the yellow cats, just like Winter. So we ourselves think that the yellow cat in the secret garden are descendants of Winter. So when you look around the secret garden, it's okay to say hello to them, but don't get close to them. They are still the wild cats, so they may stray toward bite you if they're hungry. So please don't get close to them. Alright, then let's move to the area number 12, which is right. And in summer, it's so hot. Yes, it's so hot. And in autumn, the autumn is the best season to visit Secret Garden. And in winter, it's also good if the buildings are covered with snow, but it's freezing. Do you know how cold in Seoul is in winter? No idea. So last winter, I think the coldest day went about like minus 27 or 6 Celsius in the morning. On that day, the highest temperature was just minus 16 Celsius. Yes. And many people say that this winter will be colder than last winter. So I'm getting scared right now. Yes, I'm getting scared. So November this week should be the peak season, and it should be the autumn, but I guess the autumn is over now. It's winter. Alright, so everyone's here. Alright, so this place is called Changdeokgung, marked number 12 on the map. And it was built in 1828 by Crown Prince Gyeomyeong to perform a ceremony such as presenting a title to his father. And this area was constructed in the form of nobleman's house with separate quarters for men and women. In addition, the buildings here aren't painted with colorful decorations compared to other pavilions and buildings in the palace that you have looked. So in this area, you can't find any like red, blue, yellow paintings in this area. So this kind of decoration is called pancheong, which refers to the traditional coloring on wooden buildings in Korea. Only sacred places such as the palace, the Buddhist temple, or the shrine could have the buildings colored. However, the buildings in this area were built following the examples of former kings who didn't use the colorful decorations on buildings. And since this area is not the part of palace, is not the Buddhist temple, is not the shrine, this can be the reason why there isn't any colorful decoration in this area. Alright, then before we move to the men's and women's space, let's look at the area where we're standing at. So this area here was for the servants. So now we are in the servant quarter, and the gate which we have just passed is the main gate of this area, and on the left side of the gate there is a small door. Yes, on the left side of the gate there's a small door, and that's the room for the doorman. And right next to the doorman's room, there is a space where some pillars are standing, and there was a stable in the past. And at the end of the stable, there are 2 toilets for the servants. So what about the king? So in the Joseon dynasty, the king didn't need to have a space for the toilet because they used portable toilets. So when they wanted to go to the toilet, the court ladies brought the portable toilet to the king and they used it. Alright, then now if you look at the front, so there's the 2 gates in front of you. The gate on your right leads to the men's area, while the gate on your left leads to the women's area. Now if you look at the roof of the gate to the men's area, you can see that the roof is higher compared to the other ones. Yes, compared to the other ones. So it was made higher to let a palanquin, the sedan chair, pass the gate easily. That's why the roof was built higher. Alright, then let's move to the men's area first and then move to the women's. So let's go this way.
Not the time to take pictures.
Well, it's sad that I can't see the cat today. So there is a cat living in this area and her name is Yeonkyung because this area is called Yeonkyung-dang, and she likes to walk on the roof. But yeah, I can't see it today. Okay. Alright, so now we are in the place for men. And the building in front of you is the main building of this area. This building consists of 3 parts: the central hall in the middle, raised veranda on your right side, and the master's room on your left side here. So now if you look at the central hall and the ceiling, you can see that the doors are lifted. So those doors are lifted by some iron hooks. And there are more iron hooks inside at the ceiling of the central hall. And all those kind of iron hooks were used to hold the doors like this. And the doors of the central hall and raised verandas can be folded and lifted just like this, which makes the closed narrow space turn into a big wide open space. So this open space might have to stay cool in summer. Right then, so here, these are the stairs, but what about this one? It's not connected with the stairs. Can you guess what this is? Anyone? No idea? Okay, so now can you guess what it is? Well, so this one is the stepping stone. So if there's a horse or like palanquin, it was used to get on and off the horse easily. Yes. So this is a stepping stone that was used by the master. And now let's look at the building on your right side over there. So that building was a study and a place to store the books in the past. And this building is facing the west. So the rays of the sunlight go deep inside in the afternoon, which could discolor the books kept in the building. To prevent this, the copper plate roof was added in front of the original tiled roof with adjustable awnings to control the angle of the sunlight. So the green roof is the copper plate roof, and right at the bottom of it, you can see some awnings at the bottom of the roof. Alright, then before we move to the women's, shall we look at this strange working rocks next to the wall? Yes, so there are 4 rocks next to the wall here. Yes, so those are called oddly shaped stones because it looks strange and a bit ugly. So in the past, people thought that those kind of rocks look similar to holy mountains where the immortal beings live. So putting these kind of rocks means that this place is also the sacred place where the holy and immortal beings live. And they are not artificially carved, but it was shaped by rain and wind. Also in the past, people thought that the stone, the rock, signifies the immortality and longevity. So that's why the gate of never getting old was made with the stone, because stone has those kind of meanings. Alright, then let's move to the women's space through the gate on your left over there. From the room occupied by the lady of the house, you can see that these 2 buildings, the men's and women's buildings, are intimately connected. So I'll show the connection later. And before that, let me explain about the traditional heating system of Korea. So we use the heating system called Ongidor. To use this system, we need 3 things. So actually we need more things, but just to make it brief, also we need 3 things. The furnace, chimney, and a long passageway laid under the roof floor. So on your left, there is quite a big space here, and inside there's a furnace at the bottom. So there's a square hole at the bottom, and that is the furnace. And that was used to heat the rooms. And smoke from this furnace goes out through the chimney. Now, where is the chimney? Can you find the chimney around here? Underground? No, there's no chimney underground. So many people looked up, but to give you a hint, there's no chimney on the roof. Yes, and not underground. No, so not underground, not on the roof. Okay, then I'll give you one more hint. You can find the chimney in this area through the window here. This one? No, that's the room, or yeah, that's the room. Here? No, it's a furnace and there's nothing inside here. Okay, then I'll tell you the answer. Through this window, yes, through this window, can you find the protruding part between the walls with red bricks? Yes, that is the chimney. The red brick over there, yes, between the walls, yes, that is the chimney. Alright, now, so I'll talk about about the long passageway now. So we have two types of room. The room which is a wooden floor and the room which is a stone floor. We can use the heating system only on the stone floor. And right at the bottom of the stone floor, there's a long passageway which is connected with the furnace and the chimney. Also, the top of the passageway is covered with white stone plate. So when the heat and smoke go through this long passageway, the white stone plate gets heated. And when the stone plate gets heated, the room temperature goes up. So this is how Ondol, our traditional heating system, worked in Korea. Okay, now I will show the connection between the women's and men's building, and then I'll give you some time to take photos and look around. So let's go this way. Yes, so through this window here, yes, not this one, through this one, yes, this one, you can see that the women's and men's buildings are internally connected like this. So originally, if you go to the real noman's house that was built around during the Joseon Dynasty, the men's and women's areas are separated. It shouldn't be connected like this. But this area just looks like a noman's house and not real noman lived here. So this area was used for a banquet hall and sometimes as a temporary shelter when the queen's residence in this palace were burned down in 1917. So we don't know for sure why the women's and men's buildings are connected in this area, but some say that it's just a guess, it's not a fact. So some guess that it was connected just for the convenience for the king and the royal family who actually used this place. Okay, so I'll give you time to look around and take photos, and let's meet at the study, which is a copper plated room, after 5 minutes.
Comprate quando li tengo fuori.
Shake. I thought it just under a piece and do just Chinese.
Okay, so we will move to the next area soon. Okay, so do you like to watch K-dramas? Yes. Okay, then is there anyone who have watched Kingdom on Netflix? Kingdom. No. Yes. Okay, so then you may be familiar with the next area, because some of the scenes in the drama were filmed at the area number 13. Okay. Alright, then let's move to the area number 13 through the gate over here. Okay, so let's move.
It does serve some evidence that like 2013
So that if you could let him drop the notion.
kept saying so straight away. I was like, and like little people went, and they're like,
But then I think you get in touch with people who are local. And you get loads of people who are like, oh, yeah.
Okay, so now we are at the area number 13, which is called Changdeokgung area. So let's look at the pond on your right first. The shapes of the pond in the Joseon dynasty were mostly square-shaped or round. But which do you think the pond is? Does it look like sphere? Does it look like circle? It doesn't seem like circle and sphere to me. So what does it look like? Can anyone guess? Reverse? Yes, it can be reverse. Map? Oh yeah, it can be map. So it can be a keyhole, it can be a cat, it can be a rabbit, it can be wave, it can be a snake. And whenever I ask this question to Korean people say it looks like Korean peninsula. And actually, it's really similar to Korean peninsula. So the upper side, over there, the side up on the opposite side. So that's the North Korea, and the bottom is the South Korea. But it wasn't like this at first. So according to the historical record, there were 3 ponds, which were 2 square ponds and a circular pond in that area. But the ponds were transformed into the current shape in the early 19,000s. And no one knows how we suddenly changed it like that. So we are still looking for the records about this pond. Alright, now let's look at the pavilion on the left side of the pond. Yes, the pavilion over there. So that pavilion is unusual for its fan-shaped wooden floor and roof. Also, the characteristic of the pavilion by the pond is that the 2 front pillars are soaked in water. So as you can see, that pavilion also has this characteristic. The 2 front pillars are soaked in water, and because of that, it says that you can feel like you are on a boat and sit inside the pavilion. And actually, all the pavilions that we've looked today, so the pavilion of the blooming lotus flower in the area number 10, and the pavilion of the beloved lotus flower in the area number 11, also has this characteristic. All those 2 front pillars are soaked in water. Alright then, another feature is the signboard. The signboard of most buildings have a rectangular frame, but that one, the pavilion over there, have a shape of a leaf, which has the meaning of the highest honor. So actually, you can't look at the signboard at the spot here. You should go down the stairs and then you will find the signboard. Alright then, on the opposite side, there's another pavilion on the hill over there. Okay, so that pavilion, it says that it was built about 120 years ago. And the pavilion has doors around it, and the doors were designed to be hung up outwards, which made a picture a view of this area. So that's the pavilion name, that one, is that a place where you can get the beautiful scenery of this area. Okay, now let's look at the building on your back. So that building also has a name, which is a space for awakening from foolishness. So do you remember a study for Crown Prince Romeo in the area number 11? So two-story building that doesn't have any colorful decoration in your Manila, okay, great. So that building was also Tomyo's place for reading books. And the date of its construction is assumed to be at the end of the 18th century. And the building now has a wooden floor only, but it has a roof equipped with a heating system and a wooden floor in the past. Okay, then finally, let's look at the pavilion here. It's the largest pavilion in this area. So this pavilion is called Changdeokgung, and it was built in 1644, which is the oldest structure in this area. And being hexagonal in shape, it was once called a six-sided pavilion. The roof and the pillars are double layered, giving a stable look. So now shall we get close to the pavilion and look at the ceiling of the inside? Yes, let's look at the ceiling. Inside ceiling. So if you look inside, you can find two dragons at the center of the ceiling. So can you find the dragons at the center of the ceiling? Yes? Okay, so the ceilings are decorated with gold and blue dragons that represent the royal authority. And moreover, on the northern wall, there is a wooden tablet with the writing of King Changdeokgung, who made the royal library in the area number 10. The writing indicates that although the streams in the world have the moon reflected on them, the only moon in the sky is King Changdeokgung himself. So this signifies his strong will for strengthening the royal authority and loving the people. Okay, so this is all I have for today. I hope you had a great time this tour. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. And it's a bit chilly today, so be careful not to catch your cold. Alright, so thank you so much and have a nice day. 감사합니다. And if you want to go back to Secret Garden entrance, follow this path and you will get to the entrance by like 10 minutes walk. Okay, so thank you.
Dove bella foto del suo palazzo.
I think we brought that piece of paper home to it too. I squat down so I wouldn't be in the video.
继续往上走。
You all right now? Happy now, you think? Do we need to do every single one?
So this one is the reception building.
Yeah.
The last king of this country, he lived here, in this area. This one is restored one 1917 because he catch the big fire, and then destroyed in 1917. They restored this palace building right over here. So come this way. I will show you some. One is the reception building, and this can be the office or reception hall as well.
Yeah.
So when they have some special guests, they put them and then they discuss about national affairs in this building.
Oh, yeah,
And the
very
office.
nice decoration.
So you see all the old buildings in the palace gardens, right?
Yes.
Some of them is 300 years old and 400 years old.
Wow.
And those are the oldest ones. Here, these buildings are built restored 1917.
Yeah.
Had the big fires at the time.
Is this traditional Korean dress?
Yeah, it's we call hanbok.
Oh, right.
And this one is the king's bedroom.
Oh, right.
You go inside and take a look. This is the building, bedroom for the king and queen. This is the king's bedroom and queen's bedroom, and they can sleep together, but
But they have their own rooms as well.
yeah, their own rooms actually. one. So this one was the restored one 1917. So if you see inside, it has like a more modern style, not the traditional style. Normally we don't have chairs and things like that.
What do you mean with that?
So just sit on the floor.
Yeah.
And then because we heat up the floor
Yes.
for the heating.
Yeah.
For the heating system, but this one has we got some technologies and cultures from Western countries at the time, so
Yeah.
they start to use the chairs and tables and etc. etc. Even they have some sofas inside the room and light bulbs as well. Yeah.
Yes, I can. Yeah.
So the last king of this country, he ended up his life here
You think?
in this building, 1927, and then we don't have any official kings and queens of this country since then. And this is the office of the palace.
Yeah.
So King David is the king and then officers they stay together and then discuss about national affairs inside of this building. This one also restored 1970. Because this was destroyed by fire.
So what caused the fire?
This is the fireplace.
So the fire started.
Yeah, from the fireplace and then goes all over the palace. At the time the wind was very strong.
Yeah.
So they couldn't stop
Yeah.
the fire. Because in the country to heat up the heating of the room is they heat up the floor with the fire.
Yeah.
So that the fire
yes,
triggered the
yeah.
big fires around the cell.
제가 알기로는 2000년대 초반인가 90년대 초반에 알고 있습니다. 굉장히 오랜 시간이 걸리죠. 그래서 그때쯤이면 전 세계에서 신로를 같이 날 수 있지 않을까라고 생각이 듭니다. 자, 지금 보시면 아시겠지만 공간이 그렇게 넓지가 않아요. 그리고 바닥이 나무 바닥입니다. 이 나무 바닥은 우리 전통 바닥이에요. 우리 전통 나무 바닥입니다. 보통 이런 공간은 의자와 책상을 두고 있어요. 그러다 보니까
This building, even the coronation of the king was carried out in this building. You can just take a look. You like this?
그게 아닌 게 언젠데 지금 아니야. 그래? 지금은 어딨어?
아 본사 들어갔어.